Hi there, it's Dr. Guerrero. I am your instructor and facilitator for physiology this term. I just wanted to do a quick run through of what the course is set up or how the course is set up so that if you have any questions before we meet on Wednesday, then hopefully this gives you a little bit more direction. Okay, I'm on the home screen, and on the home screen, you have access to the 5 most recent announcements and then how to get started. So reading the syllabus and so on and so forth. So that's a pretty general, basic homepage. When you click on announcements, it actually gives all the announcements that I've posted in chronological order from the newest ones at the bottom, or the oldest ones at the bottom, the newest ones at the top. Okay, so you'll have access to that. And the one that I really want you to pay attention to is welcome. Please start here to tips for success in physiology. It does give you an idea for time management, how to organize your time, and complete your assignments. Moving here to the syllabus is a syllabus, exactly what you would expect from it. It does give you my contact information. Then it also goes through the course description and weighting. And if you scroll down, like course weight, not like waiting in a line. If you scroll down a little bit further, it gives you a breakdown of what you will do each week in this course. So not only is it in Canvas, but it's also here in the syllabus. Okay. The area that I would suggest after you get accustomed to this class that you click on first would be modules. In the modules, the very first grouping is welcome and getting started. You have a syllabus quiz or acknowledgement, basically, due by Wednesday. So please click on that and acknowledge that you have accessed the syllabus. It is your certification assignment so that you don't get dropped from this course. When you scroll down, the next grouping or cluster of items are what we refer to as our course resources. You will need a Mastering A&P account for this course. It does require a separate access code than what we used in anatomy because it's a different book. When you click on it to get started, and I'll explain this in a little bit, it does give you the option for a 7-day trial. So you don't have to purchase it immediately, but you can get started on your coursework. Just make sure when you access it and when you purchase it, you're going through our Canvas shell so that it immediately syncs your grade book to your name within Canvas. Okay, also, when you do that, you have the option of buying just the homework assignments or the homework and the e-textbook. The e-textbook does have access to extra videos and study resources that I strongly suggest. I get no kickback or anything from the publisher, but they are kind of beneficial. And you don't have to randomly search YouTube looking for something. They are specific. The lockdown browser is required for the midterm and the final only in physiology. So you do have to do a practice quiz to make sure that it's installed correctly, but you won't use it weekly. It will only be used in week 5 and week 9. Right here, this, what I would say would probably be the most important aspect of the course resources. It's where I put the reviews for your exams and all of the lectures for you to access along with PowerPoints and information on the signature assignment. I'm going to come right back to that. You will use Panopto for your week 8 signature assignment, your lab presentation. So if you're not familiar with it, the instructions for getting started are there. So I'm going to click right here on the lecture notes and reviews. Here's the midterm review. We will start working on this Wednesday when we meet initially. The final exam review, we will start week 6. Information for your signature assignments. You have 2 signature assignments in physiology, both due in week 8, and it's extremely overwhelming if you wait until week 8. My suggestion is you do one during weeks 1 through 3, and the second one during weeks 4 through 6, and you be done. Okay, because week 8 is really when you're trying to study for that final exam, and physiology is slightly different than anatomy. A lot of memorization required here. Okay, and then here is the topics that you can do your week 8 presentation over, but we'll get to that later when we meet on Wednesday. Underneath here, I have everything broken up into weekly chunks. So here are your week 1 resources with PowerPoint, so links to the lecture videos. Week 2, if there's anything in your e-textbook that I think would be beneficial, I've listed it down here. And I do that for each one. So that kind of gives you a little bit more guidance on what to look for and expect resource-wise. Okay, so I do that all the way through week 8. All right, and that's in modules. Also, underneath the course resources is where you have your weekly cluster. So for week 1, all of these aspects are assigned, and you can see the due date, like for the discussion, is on Wednesday. Everything else is Sunday. You will use a Pearson account, a Mastering A&P, for your lecture assignments and your lab assignments here. You do have the option to review your quizzes. I strongly suggest you do that, as your exams are pulled from those quiz questions. We'll talk about that again on Wednesday. Here's also your practice quiz for Respondus. Just like in your anatomy course, everything else week 2, week 3 falls in sync. Okay. The discussion boards, same type of setup where you have an initial post and then you respond to 2 peers. The interactions need to be on 3 separate dates. Okay. But the fun thing about the physiology discussion boards is you get to pick what your topic is. It's not kind of pre-assigned or set up for you. So you're listening to the lecture and you learn something new. I want you to find that information, and your post must include this criteria. So put the timestamp and the lecture, the new information, and provide a clinical or real life application. We'll talk more about this on Wednesday. Make sure everything's cited in APA format. If you know me and you've worked with me before, you know that I'm a stickler on that. Okay. Make sure your peer posts or peer responses are substantive and they're on separate dates so that you're active at least 3 dates, and that will get you meets criteria. That will not, or meets expectations. It will not get exceeds unless you do more. Okay. So if you're trying to maximize your points, make sure you do an extra peer response. All right. Otherwise, the Mastering A&P, mine's already set up because I'm the instructor in your course, obviously. But once you click on it, it does take you directly to our course shell and allows you to set up your account. Just if you can't pay for it right now, just do the trial, but make sure you always access it through our Canvas course so it syncs your grades. Okay. I think that's it for right now. I look forward to meeting you on Wednesday, hopefully. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out.